So it is exam season, and I thought I'd share a few tips with you to help you really go through that exam and do your absolute best and come out feeling that you've done well and you've done your best and nothing went pear-shaped and tripped you up on the way. My name's Claire and I'm an RAD, which is Royal Academy of Dance ballet teacher, and literally our exam session starts this week, and all the examiners are sent out on tour to assess the dancers, and our exam is going to be next week. So here are a few tips. First of all, you really want to make sure you've got your kit. Yeah, you've got 1 week. Ideally, you should have it already there. Make sure you've got the right leotard that you want to wear, the right tights, the right ballet shoes. If you've got any new gear, I would have worn it already, or maybe try and wear it at least once or twice this week so you feel really comfortable in it. Have it ready, have it packed in a bag so you don't have to worry about it. You know everything's there. Make sure you have some spares, especially ballet tights. They have a habit of snagging at really the wrong time, so have a couple of pairs of ballet tights as spare. Make sure you've got your hair stuff, the hairspray, the pins, the grips, the bobbles, and all the hairnets, all that. Make sure it's all there so that you're not sort of stressing about it like one day before the exam. Now is the time to really refine that practice. Hopefully you've been practicing in the run up to now, so you really know the work really well. So now we're talking like just polishing off those little rough edges. There sometimes is a little bit of an exercise or a little bit of a dance that you feel, oh, I'm still not really feeling super comfortable with that bit. That needs to be practiced and practiced and practiced this week. Yes, ideally you've done that over the last few weeks. If not, don't worry, but yeah, maybe set aside a little bit of time each day to do a little bit of practice. Ideally, you want to be running the syllabus as you would in the exam as much as you can, so you know whatever happens in that room, you're not going to get put off by someone else going wrong. You know what you're doing and you're going to go in there and just think about your performance. Okay, so yeah, run it. Make sure you really know it for yourself without having to look at anybody else, and then you go in just feeling that little bit of confidence, thinking, I know the work, I'm going to be fine. Okay, so have a really good schedule of practice in the lead up to your exam over the next couple of weeks. Right, so now we're on the night before the exam. Do try, I know this doesn't always work out, some of you might work evenings, do try and get an early night. Don't go to bed ridiculously early because your body's not going to be ready for bed. Yeah, so if you normally go to bed at, say, midnight and you're going to bed at 9 o'clock at night, your body's going to be wide awake and you're going to be staying in bed thinking, ooh, what about that, what about that? So don't do that. But if you can, do try and plan ahead so you have got a good night's sleep before your exam. You don't want to be trying to do an exam on 5 hours sleep because you're going to really struggle with that one. So do get a good night's sleep and do a wind down routine. Yeah, so I don't know what you do. Maybe turn the lights down low, maybe play some really like chilled out, relaxed music. You might want to even play the syllabus music if that's not too stressful for you, and just chill out, wind down, and maybe close your eyes and just visualize yourself. I know this sounds a bit woo-woo, but it does work. Visualize yourself actually doing the work. Your body, or your brain actually can't tell the difference between actually doing the work and thinking about the work if you're actually imagining yourself doing it, because the same neurons are firing off. If I'm lying there imagining going through a sequence that I've learned that day or that I'm going to be performing the next day, I'm imagining my body doing it. So my brain is still sending those messages to the muscles. And quite often I do actually dance in my sleep. So anyway, that's another story. So yeah, do like visualize yourself going through the work and visualize it going well. And you're coming out feeling, that went well, I enjoyed that, yes. Another thing to think about, if you start to get that knot in your stomach and that feeling of like, ooh, this is scary, remind yourself that fear and excitement have the same physical responses. Okay, so let me explain this. So if you're excited, your tummy starts going, you start sweating, you maybe feel a bit shaky and a bit sort of wobbly. You start to feel like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit odd. Yes, a bit lively. Fear has the same response. Yes, you might have a bit of a knot in your stomach, you might feel a bit shaky, a bit sweaty, But the difference between fear and excitement, with excitement, your brain knows what's causing the excitement. Oh, we're excited. This is good. There's no need to panic. I might feel a bit wobbly, a bit shaky, but it's exciting. I'm going to get the chance to show my hard work to a person who's come to see us. It's like having a mini audience. So you get to do like a little show for them. Okay. If you go into fear mode, your body starts looking for the problem. So your subconscious starts thinking, well, I'm feeling my stomach's flipping, I'm sweating, I've got the shakes. Where's the problem? What's wrong? I can feel I'm afraid of something. What's the problem? Where is it? What? And you start getting that perceptual narrowing because you start focusing to look for the issue. And that is when you can make mistakes. You stop losing the power of using your frontal cortex, or is it the you start losing the power of logical thought in your brain as you start zoning in on the fear factor, and that's what you want to avoid. So the minute you feel the butterflies, think, oh, I'm excited, and start thinking along those lines. Start thinking of excitement and the fact that this is going to be a lovely opportunity to show what you've been working. It's like a performance, but it is a performance. So you get the chance to really go for it without any sort of sense of embarrassment because your teacher might be watching, or you might feel the others are watching you. This is your chance to shine and actually really, really express how you feel with the music and dance your heart out, basically. So on the day, I know we talked about fear and excitement already, but that can start kicking in before the day. On the day, so you've tried to have a really good night's sleep. What you want to be doing is your normal routine. Okay, especially if you do have a morning routine. So if you have something that you do every morning that feels comfortable, like you might go for a morning walk, you might read a bit of a book, you might do meditation, whatever it is that you do that sets you up for your day, try to do that. Even if it means having to get up a little bit earlier in order to do that, do try to do that. Whenever I've been in stressful situations where I'm feeling a bit out of my comfort zone, those are the days I really hone in and make sure I do my breathing, I do my meditation, I do my morning walk, I journal and do those things that make my mornings really enjoyable and relaxing and set me up for the day, so that when I get to the situation that I know is going to make me feel a little bit nervous, I can think I'm excited, this is really cool, and I'm grounded, ready to start. So that's big recommendation. Make sure you have a good breakfast as well. Obviously, if you've got a really early exam, no exams start ridiculously early. I think 9 o'clock is the earliest that they ever start. You don't want to be having like a huge breakfast like 5 minutes beforehand, but do make sure you have plenty of protein, some carbs, so a really good sustainable breakfast to set you up for your exam. And hydrate. Yes, if you need coffee or a cup of tea, whatever you have in the morning, but do make sure you're having plenty of water as well in advance of the exam, so that you're well hydrated, so your muscles have got the hydration already there. It's no good once you get thirsty or once you're in the exam. Yes, some exams you can take a bottle of water with you, but once you're in the exam, if you're feeling thirsty and dehydrated, your brain's not going to work as well, your muscles won't work as well. So do make sure you're well hydrated. Next, arrive early. I always suggest arriving an hour before the exam. People might think that's a bit extreme, but it gives you time to warm up. It gives you time to do your hair, or for someone to help you do your hair. It gives you time to make sure everything's in place. You can have a little practice of the work. You can run through the dances. So when you go into that exam, you're really just thinking about the performance, your breath, the musicality, expressing the mood of the music and using the movement to tell the story of the music. That's what you're there for. So you really want to be able to put everything into that performance. Okay, so arrive with plenty of time. The last thing you want to be doing is running in 5 minutes before the exam, ripping your hair into a bun and throwing on a pair of tights and running in there. Yet you want to be calm and zoned and ready to do your thing. Make sure you do a good warm-up. Yeah, nothing worse than getting an exam and pushing yourself a little bit further than you normally do, and then go, oh, I've pinged a muscle. Yeah, you don't want that. I've had that happen. I had it in my intermediate modern exam, which I did as an adult when I was doing my teacher's course. And yes, right in the middle of, I think it was the contractions exercise, I went into a lovely second position and felt my left hamstring go zzz, and carried on the whole exam thinking, oh, I just pulled my hamstring. It was one of those moments you don't want to repeat. And it's still not right, but that's probably my fault for not stretching it properly or getting it properly treated. Guilty. Before you go in, take a moment to breathe. Really, really breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Make sure your breath out is longer than your breath in. And the same in the exam. At any point you start to feel a bit big breath in and then even longer breath out. Important to breathe in through the nose rather than the mouth. Obviously, when you're in the middle of your gondolegro, you might find that a bit tricky, but the more you can breathe in through your nose, it's just generally more calming, and it filters things out as well, so you don't get so much chance of coughing and things like that. And finally, enjoy. Yeah, really important. You love your dancing, otherwise you wouldn't be doing this. Yeah, so go in and really enjoy it. Most examiners are just really happy to see a smiley face. They see so many people walk in looking like absolutely terrified with their concentrating faces on. So a big smile the minute you walk in that room. Own that studio. Not as in a competition with your friends. If all 4 of you run in like with big smiles, like really happy to be there and really excited to meet a new examiner and to do your thing and show your dancing, oh, it will make the examiner's day, because it must be really tough. I'm no examiner, but it must be really tough to sit through hours and hours of people really scared, and you're thinking, I want you to do your best, and you're so scared you're not going to do your best. So please breathe, relax, enjoy, and show how much you love your dancing. Remember, once you're in that room, you're in performance mode the whole time until you leave that room, till the door shuts behind you. You're there creating an atmosphere by being absolutely fabulous. But you want to, while you're dancing, the choreography should be on autopilot, so that you're literally hearing the music, moving with the music, using your breath, using your expression, and really, really expressing everything that music makes you feel. And that is how you enjoy your exam, and hopefully come out feeling, I did my best. And whatever result you get, you did your best, and that's the most important thing, that you come out feeling, yeah, I did my best, I nailed it. There you go. I really hope that helps, and for anyone taking exams, good luck, enjoy them. Take care, bye.